340 Vol Pilot here. Hope you're doing great. This week I'm heading back to the Oshkosh, Appleton area to pick up the 340 and fly it home after having to leave it there and drive back on the earth trails about 10 days ago. I'll tell you the story in the video, but for starters, my wife and I left Dyersburg in the pouring rain. She dropped me in Memphis, where I took a commercial flight to Chicago, and then a connecting flight to Appleton. And from Appleton, I picked up the 340 and flew back to the Dyersburg Gateway. Long day, but well worth it to see this majestic bird again. Okay, and all the excitement of departing Appleton, I forgot to turn the cameras on, so we're just off Appleton Runway 3. We're on 130 heading, and waiting for our next cue from center. And that's what's going on. He gave me 9,000, so I'm climbing 9,000, looking for 14. After a while, that's what we'll do. Milwaukee approach 6871 Delta with you, climbing through 3.5 for 9, on a vector.
November 6871 Delta, Milwaukee approach, Oshkosh, altimeter 3003, climb and maintain 13,000.
13,000, 6871 Delta, 3003. So I have filed for 14,000, heading back down to Dyersburg, the gateway to everywhere, and we're climbing through 4.5 now.
71 Delta, you're clear direct, Delta Yankee Romeo Airport.
Clear direct Delta Yankee Romeo 6871 Delta. All right, he just gave us direct, so we'll climb above this this cover, this cloud cover, and should be a good ride back. You can see out the front camera. That is, I think it's Lake Winnebago. That's what it was called. It's a beautiful day up here in Appleton. We're probably over Oshkosh now, or a side of Oshkosh, I would imagine. We may see some broken clouds. I mean, we see broken clouds all around us, but we may go through some broken patches up this way. It was torrential downpour when I left the Memphis area. My wife took me down to Memphis, and I flew to Memphis today, or from Memphis today, Chicago to Appleton.
November 71 Delta, contact Chicago Center 133.3.
133.3, 6871 Delta. Chicago Center 6871 Delta, climbing through 7.5 for 13,000.
Alright, 6871 Delta, Chicago Center, welcome, climb, maintain 14,000, Milwaukee altimeter 3003.
14,000, 3003, 6871 Delta. Coming up on 10,000.
Alright, 706, the La Crosse altimeter 29906. Call me 854, or 1 Foxtrot Alpha, Dubuque Airport is your 12 o'clock, 11 miles, report the field in sight.
Well, we're climbing. We're going uphill and doing 175 knots. Ground speed uphill, which is really good. I can't wait to see what happens when we level out.
423 November Echo, descend and maintain 15,000, Oshkosh altimeter 3003.
All right, passing through 13,000.
Altitude 1,000 to go.
10,000, be at or below 12,000 in 4 minutes or less.
Coming up on 14. I can feel it in my ears. You know, pressurization doesn't mean that your ears don't pop. It just means that you don't need oxygen up here. All right, here we are, 14,000. I said I don't know what the weather's doing in Dyersburg, but of course I know. It was torrential downpours this morning at 6, 7 a.m. to about 9 or 10 a.m. And then it started to clear off about noon. And it looks pretty good now. There may be some, I don't know, clouds at 3 to 7,000 maybe, but the nasty weather's cleared out.
Number 423 November Echo, contact Milwaukee approach 127.0.
27.0, 3 November Echo, small.
Like I said, we're at 14,000. The engine is wound out, it looks like. So I'm going to pull back and get the settings set for cruise.
Number 6871 Delta, could you guys maintain 16,000 for Chicago approach airspace?
Did you say 6871 Delta 16,000?
Yeah, could you guys maintain 16,000? Currently your course is taking you through Chicago approach. If we can get you up there, we can get you above it. If you stay at 14, I'll have to back you around.
Okay, 6871 Delta head to
Altitude.
16,000.
I'll be 4026 Chicago Center, rather.
Okay, now we've done what he said. It took me a second to get it. He asked us to get to 16,000, so he wouldn't have to vector us around Chicago.
7388 November, Chicago Center to be altimeter 2998.
So we could just climb up 2,000 more feet, have a straight shot, no vectors involved at this point. It's what he asked us to do, so we're climbing from 14,000 to 16,000.
Envoy 4026, cross Cheddar at 14,000, wonky altimeter 3003.
Cheddar at 14,000, Envoy 4026.
All right, we're at his 16,000. I just had the settings set for 4,000, which seems to always happen. As soon as you get your settings settled, they're going to ask you to climb or something like that. Or as soon as you go in the clouds, they'll give you a frequency change. Never fails.
Number 3, correction, November 263 Romeo Sierra. Did I miss your check on?
263 Romeo Sierra 230.
Roger that. Number 6871 Delta, contact Chicago Center 134.82.
13482, 6871 Delta.
Guys 4095, contact Madison approach 135.45.
Chicago Center 6871 Delta 16,000.
Number 6871 Delta, Chicago Center, welcome, and the Rockford altimeter 3001.
3001, 6871 Delta. All right, things look good. They're settled out. Get that RPM readjusted. Watching this and this. Those numbers, those are 2 dials in there. They need to line up one on top of the other. The goal is to keep the RPMs in tune. If this is twisting clockwise or counterclockwise, it's out of tune. You want to have it so it's not really twisting. So these 2 dials are one on top of the other. It's kind of like tuning a guitar.
Center Unit 2311 is leveling 15,000, direct to Olin.
I just checked the weather in Dyersburg again. Looks like a few clouds at 1800, not a big deal.
United 2311, contact Chicago Center 124.72. Number 62 Whiskey Alpha, contact Chicago Center on 118.75.
11875, 62 Whiskey Alpha.
Well, I wish I had gotten the some of the taxi and the takeoff out of Appleton, but the frequency was pretty busy and I just completely forgot to hit record. We are direct Dyersburg, 406 miles to Dyersburg. I will tell this, what happened leaving Appleton on Thursday of Oshkosh. My buddies and I were planning to stay Monday through Thursday, departing out Thursday morning. This is me flying back by myself. I had to leave the plane there. We came out to the ramp, backing up a step. We got a call Wednesday afternoon saying that there was some hydraulic fluid under the tire, under the right main tire. And so we came by to check it out. We left Oshkosh and came by to check it out. And sure enough, the hydraulic fluid had leaked out of the strut area. The strut, it's like a shock absorber. That's about all I know about that. Hydraulic fluid had leaked out, so it had collapsed, for lack of better words. And where you could usually see the chrome or the stainless steel, whatever it is, of the strut between the wing and the tire, was just metal on metal. I talked to the mechanics there, talked to my mechanic back home, and you can't drive, you can't taxi on that. It's not safe to taxi on. Certainly you can't take off on it with those speeds. So we left it there. I said, boys, pack up the rental car that we've been driving around Oshkosh with. Pack up the rental car, we're driving home. We did that. It was about a 9-hour guys trip. A lot of fun, actually. So that was time well spent. I hated to leave the plane in Appleton, but I knew they'd take good care of it. So I've just made it back today. Today is Friday, August 4th is what it is. So it was about 10 days on the ramp, getting repaired, on the ramp and just trying to get back up here. but it was a nice flight up. Flew out of Memphis on United. It was a wonderful flight. We flew United to Chicago, and then United to Appleton. Could not have been a better flight. Very impressed. So thank you, United. No plugs there, just saying something nice about the airlines.
Breakfast 415, climb maintain level 230, resume normal speed.
Normal speed and flight level 230, Echo 415.
Up the left side window, 40 miles is Lake Michigan, the western shore of Lake Michigan at Waukegan. Waukegan area, just above Chicago.
Chicago Center, climb and maintain 15,000, and you can resume normal speed higher for here in just a little bit.
Envoy 9631, go ahead.
Envoy 9631, you're cleared to the Rochester Airport via direct ILOB. Direct, it's India, Lima, Oscar, Bravo, Echo.
Chicago Center 687 Delta, seeing traffic at about 11 o'clock, about 1,000 below, just making sure everything's okay.
Affirmative, number 71 Delta, that traffic at 11 o'clock and about 4 miles there. Turning northwestbound, it's a Embraer 170 at 15,000 level. They'll be climbing passenger traffic.
687 Delta. So when you hear pilots say, keep your scan up, what they're talking about is hear all of your instruments. So we're watching our course indicator, we're watching our altitude, we're watching our vertical speed up and down. I'm on autopilot right now, so I just gotta oversee what autopilot is doing. Turn coordinator, which is wings level. And over here we have the fuel gauges, the fuel gallons remaining, and our PSI for each engine, cylinder temperature for each engine, oil pressure for each engine. And this is our EGTs for each engine. And then this is the fuel flow that I talk about. It's between 17.2, 17.5 per
November 9255, radar contact lost, recycle transmitter.
And then this is the RPMs. It's 2 needles, one on top of the other, 1 needle for each engine. Manifold pressure, 2 needles also, one on top of the other. They're lined up, or they should be lined up. Those are the main things that we're watching. It's just a constant scan.
Speed rings 1130, contact Kansas City Center 120.82. United 8141, Kansas City Center, climb maintain flight level 230.
Just about past those largest cells. Here we are, you can see that. There's those largest cells off to our west. Got a little riffraff over St. Louis, but we'll be east of St. Louis.
Limburg 4416, contact St. Louis approach 132.12.
So in terms of fuel, I have 30 minutes left to go, and I have an hour and a half of fuel on board. So
Limburg 4416, 3212, 3212. November 71 Delta, contact Memphis Center 133.65.
3365, 6871 Delta, thanks.
Yeah.
Memphis Center 6871 Delta, 16,000.
November 6871 Delta, Memphis Center. City altimeter is 29902.
2992 for 6871 Delta. I have on sunglasses, they're prescription sunglasses, but they are polarized, and the polarization does not work with the magenta line and with the settings and things like that in these avionics. And so I just ordered a new pair of prescription sunglasses, but not polarized. I think that'll work a lot better. I'll have to go ahead and buzz them on getting a little bit lower. I'm getting itchy trigger finger. I'm coming up on 600 feet a minute to get me where I want to be, when I want to be. Memphis Center 6871 Delta, looking for lower when able.
November 6871 Delta, descend and maintain 3000.
3000, 6871 Delta, thanks.
November 71 Delta, advising you have the weather and NOTAMs at Dyersburg and Airfield to clear.
Okay, we've got the weather and the NOTAMs. We'd like the RNAV 22, please.
November 71 Delta, Roger, you can expect that.
Expect RNAV 22, 6871 Delta. So she gave me down to 3,000, nice.
Available 691 Memphis Center, descend via the Blues 3, arrival landing south, Memphis altimeter 29901.
And she said we can expect the RNAV 22.
November 71 Delta, clear direct IOTO.
Clear direct IOTO, 6871 Delta, thanks. All right, she cleared us to IOTA. We are cooking now. We are going home.
Center, volunteer 3018, 16.8, climbing to flight level 220.
Volunteer 3018, Miss Center, roger. Advise when you have the weather and notice at Cape Girardeau and say your approach request.
And now that we're descending, we'll set the pressurization
Good afternoon, volunteer 3758.
back to field level, which is about 340 feet.
I'd like to go direct to Hamilton for division 123.
And we actually set it field altitude plus 500. We've got this guy, he's 7 miles to our east. I'm descending. Looks like he's holding steady at 1,700 feet below us. So we need to keep an eye on him. Now he's at 1,400 feet. And now he's just turned to come
November
behind me.
71 Delta, change to my frequency 134.65.
3465, 6871 Delta.
Volunteer 3758, roger. Cross Highland at or above 3,000, clear RNAV runway 23, approach Paducah Airport, report Highland inbound. November 71 Delta, cross Ioto at or above 3,000, clear RNAV runway 22, approach Dyersburg Airport, report Ioto inbound.
Okay, 6871 Delta, Iota at or above 2,900, report Iota inbound.
November 71 Delta and almost cross Ioto at or above 3,000, cleared RNAV runway 22.
At or above 3,000, cleared RNAV 22, Dyersburg, 6871 Delta.
Volunteer 3758, roger. Radar service terminated. Contact Paducah Tower 119.6 via.
Memphis Center 6871 Delta, Iota inbound. Memphis Center 68, or Dyersburg traffic 6871 Delta, about a 9-mile final, runway 22 Dyersburg. Got 1 notch of flaps in, we got full fuel, or full mixture, gear down, coming through 1,700. Everything looks good. Dyersburg traffic 6871 Delta, 3-mile final 22 Dyersburg. That was a great flight. A lot of fun. Beautiful weather between the layers. I don't even know if we went through a cloud at all, even a wisp. I think we just did it right.
Altitude 1,000 to go.
Again, gear down. 2nd notch of flaps. Take it easy on that strut. Let's do it again. Oshkosh next year, but no strut trouble.